Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in. I am excited to be a part of this Part 2 Riok First Contactee Training Program, where we will be featuring the legendary Steinfeld, who is an expert remote viewer, good friend, and amazing person. So I'm going to bring Riok in so he can describe his role in this class and what unique gifts, perspectives, and techniques he will be offering to all of those who attend. So one moment, I will bring him through. Alright, and we thank you so much for your attendance in this video transmission. Today we shall be describing the idea of what we shall be offering to each and every one of you who attends the idea of the First Contactee Training class, Part 2. In this class, we shall be assisting you in the idea of observing, interfacing, and interacting with hybrid realities. What we mean by a hybrid reality is the following. You exist in your own unique parallel reality framework. All other beings that you perceive to be around you are all in their own parallel reality framework. When you interface with these beings, you are creating a third reality, a hybrid reality, that allows for a blending to take place between your energies and the energies of the other individual, thus creating the idea of the third reality, the blending of these two energies. As you experience the idea of extraterrestrials, extraterrestrial craft, extraterrestrial civilizations, understand that you will be interacting with them in the idea of a hybrid reality, a bubble reality that is a blending of your energy and their energies. Now, as we begin to dive into the idea of the remote viewing protocols for extraterrestrial beings, we shall be diving into the nature of that hybrid reality that allows for you to be rooted and anchored in what is grounding and familiar to you. And as you solidify that familiarity with your energy, your vibration, it allows for you to stabilize that vibration so you can then present that vibration to the hybrid reality, allowing for your energies within that hybrid reality to be stabilized. Once they are stabilized, it allows for the interfacing with the idea of extraterrestrials to be much more grounded, much more rooted, and much more stable. For if your energies are not balanced and stabilized and fully integrated with that idea of the hybrid reality, it is in that sense much more challenging to begin to perceive the energetics of the extraterrestrials, because you are not fully rooted in that way in the hybrid reality. So we will be spending time focusing on the idea of rooting into your true nature, grounding into who you are. So as you then move into the idea of remote viewing extraterrestrial beings, you'll be presenting that vibration of being stable, rooted, and grounded into the hybrid reality, so you can then more greatly, more accurately, with more clarity, perceive the energetics of the extraterrestrial beings that are joining you within that hybrid reality. Understanding, we will move through the idea of the remote viewing of what you consider to be individual extraterrestrial beings. However, it will not stop there. We will then begin to move into the idea of remote viewing extraterrestrial craft. Not just from one species, but from multiple different species, so you can begin to understand your personal associations, your personal relationships with these beings, their craft, and ultimately their civilization and their societies. The idea is we will be fine-tuning this channeling program with you in a way that allows for you to remote view extraterrestrial entities that you personally have connections with that are more relevant for you than maybe someone else. And this has to do with the idea of your own incarnational patterns as a soul incarnating in a variety of different lifetimes. The idea is many of you, for example, may have a greater amount of Pleiadian incarnations than others, and as a result, it may be easier for you to interface with Pleiadian beings, Pleiadian civilizations, Pleiadian craft. For others of you, it may be the Octurians, and you will then have an easier time interfacing with the Octurians, their craft, their civilization. The idea is we will be fine-tuning this class so you can interface with beings and civilizations that you personally have a great deal of other parallel incarnations with, allowing for you to have a more natural connection to them, a more direct connection to them, because it will be invoking and engaging the DNA. Understanding that the DNA houses the incarnational memories of not just your ancestors, but it also houses the incarnational memories that you have in other civilizations and star systems, because there have in that way been a great deal of extraterrestrial alterations to the DNA in the first place. Therefore, those memories, the information from those lifetimes, is available to you within your own genetic structure. So when you begin to remote view and explore with extraterrestrials that you have shared incarnations with, the codes are already in you. The experiences are already in you. So it's more natural. It's more easy for many of you to access. So we shall be, in this class, creating techniques with you that allow for you to tune in to the extraterrestrials you personally have associations with, personally have incarnations with, and we will then move into the idea of the remote viewing of those individuals and the idea of remote viewing their craft, their home worlds, or their non-physical dimensions, for some of them have evolved to that point. In addition to this, we will also be assisting you in the idea of understanding how to begin to perceive their communication while you are in the remote viewing state. For understand that even when you're remote viewing a being and you're simply observing in non-attachment, allowing for the information, allowing for the details to become present within your consciousness, the idea is that the imagery, the idea is that the experience also houses within it the idea of subtle communication that is taking place between yourself and the beings within the hybrid reality. As a result, your subconscious mind will pick up and translate and download these messages that are the subtle vibrations acting as the backdrop behind the imagery. We will then be assisting you in the idea of downloading and translating through your language in a conscious way the idea of the messages behind the underlying vibrations that make up the imagery you perceive during the remote viewing. It will allow for you in many ways to access personal information about the beings that you are interfacing with. It will also allow for you to understand more greatly the nature of their civilization, their culture. We will also be, in that way, assisting you in the idea of locating within your planet sites that are highly probable for extraterrestrial phenomenon, extraterrestrial contact. So you can, in that way, more greatly increase the probability of being able to interface with these beings in a more direct, externalized way, such as the idea of seeing craft, such as the idea of having intense telepathic connections, understanding that the locations that are a vibrational match for these beings on your Earth will increase that telepathic link that you will be developing while you are interfacing with these beings through the hybrid reality. So when you travel to these sites, they will act in that way as an amplifier for that connection, and they will also act in that way as a gateway. And through the gateway, the probability of being able to perceive craft, of being able to increase the intensity of your telepathic connections will go up. And you will likely be able to accelerate your own integration with the extraterrestrial components of your genetic material, thus then allowing for you to more greatly perceive the connections that are already there. And the idea is that you can utilize the awareness of these connections in whatever exciting way you prefer. We thank you for your attendance in this video transmission. We are very excited to be a part of this project, for we observe it as a marker in the progress, in the journey towards collective extraterrestrial contact. Our unconditional love to each of you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and looking forward to this class. I can't wait to see all of you. Thank you.